stand-up comedy is...
You shouldn't. You can't even talk to me about stand-up. I'm not. I know
that. But we're just riffing here. This is where it's just we're just going to kick the ball back and forth. I don't want to go inside your soul here. But I know one of your heroes is Don Rickles. Why Don Rickles of all the comedians you could sort of what is
God,
it
I hope
about?
this makes it. The idea that there's a show on Fox Footy.
Who's Ron Pickles? Start talking about Collingwood under-19s again, you dickhead.
That someone on a Tuesday night, is watching. They go from Robbo and Jared into you and I talking about Don Rickles.
The furnace to Rickles in one move.
Pork cooking.
I'll frame it another way. So in football, there's so much talk about courage and bravery, and your good mate Jonathan Brown is one of the great examples of that raw bravery, physical courage.
Yes.
But what about walking out on stage as a stand-up comedian? Do you kind of look at those guys and think, wow, that's courage, to walk out there just with the microphone, nothing else?
I do.
Yeah.
I know other people have different views on it and they just go, well, what's the worst could happen? But I always, they're on a pedestal for me, stand-ups. I hope to be good at it one day. I'm only just starting out.
Oh, tell me, what was that? What was the first time like? The walk up,
the first time was memorised to every word was memorised to the point,
You're just like spitting out the lines.
Yeah, it was not even.
Did you get some laughs?
Yeah, no, I killed. It was great.
My nickname's the Dominator.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was terrifying, but then on the other side was, rewarding.
Did you get the buzz?
Yeah.
You did get the buzz.
Yes, it was everything that you thought it would be when it goes well. And then, of course, I reckon that the second or third time I did it, there was 12 people there and there was no laughs for 8 minutes.
Did you just internally just self-combust? Was it as bad as what they say?
No, it wasn't as bad. That was another thing too. And then I came off, and another stand-up called Daniel Connell, he just said, mate, that happens. The win is that you got to the whole, the dance of driving there, waiting, being nervous, waiting to go on, saying it out loud on stage. That's the win. Then just go home. I remember the first time I met Brownie, we were doing a pilot for the radio show, and I asked him a question, and I said, well, of course, that you're well qualified to answer this, Jonathan. You played 13 years at the highest level. And he looked at me and said, I actually played 15. And I said, oh, sorry, big fella, I didn't know we were counting those last two. Right? There was almost a test to see if he laughed, or if he's going to, hey, listen, mate, you never played, you don't know what you're talking about,
Right.
And he laughed and everything was fine. But I don't think there's enough of that in the AFL industry. They're pretty serious campaigners.
Pretty earnest.
I think you could have more fun. That's why I think that's why you're great.